Hey guys, Alex Keeson here with you. Today is Sunday, November 8th, and today we're actually talking about another attribute of a successful leader, and that attribute is inspiration. Before I get into the actual content about inspiration, quick note to you. So make sure you're, as always, and I'm mentioning this in every video that I do because I feel it's extremely important before you start listening or learning anything, whether it's in my videos or anywhere else, make sure you understand that in order for the any of the information that you learn or read about to function and work the way it's intended to work and actually bring results is for you to work on that every single day, practice it, put it into action. Because without practice, without actually using what you learn and using the content, nothing will ever take place. And you will be at the same place. Doesn't matter how many times you'll watch the videos, how many times you read a specific books about leadership or anything else, you've got to put it into action. You've actually got to try it and use it if you would like to see the results and fruits of your labor, because you're obviously spending a lot of time listening to the modules that I put out. You also, I'm sure you're spending a lot of time looking and different other resources about leadership, about self development, and I'm sure you're reading a lot of good leadership books. All that is great, but make sure you remember, you make sure you actually practice what you learn. Make sure you put it in action and try it and use it in your day-to-day activities. So I think enough said on that. Um, I just feel like it's something I have to remind you of every single time when I do the videos, because that's what I have to do. I want to make sure that I use and I actually try everything that I learn. I put in the action and see how this works for me. It may not work for everyone, but you've got to at least put it. You've got to at least try it and see. So let's talk about another attribute of successful leader, which is the topic of today, and that topic is something that I'm really passionate about. That's inspiration, because you've got to be in order to lead others, in order to inspire others, you've got to be an inspirational leader. So one quote that I found regarding the inspiration is by Anthony Robbins, and the quote states, "In life, you need either inspiration or desperation," and it's absolutely true. With whether it's whatever task you're doing, whether it's in business or at home, you've got to be inspiring others. You've got to do that every single time. If you, as a leader, you in order to help others follow you, in order to for others to see leader in you, you've got to inspire them. Because how else are you going to help others to become better leaders? How are you going to help your followers to trust you and follow you if you are not inspiring them every single day? So inspiration is a crucial part of a successful leadership. And definition of leadership is the process of being mentally stimulated to do or feel something, especially to do something creative. So once again, it's talking about being stimulated, being thinking ahead, thinking what can I do? How can I inspire others? What actions can I take in order to inspire people that follow me and future leaders that's around me. So a couple things, well, topics of discussion today, and I just wanted to kind of mention a few things that I wanted to talk about with regards to the inspiration. And the first item that I want to mention is, what does it take? What does it take to be an inspirational leader and inspire others? And I'm sure everybody's asking that question at least once in your lifetime. I know I've asked myself that question on a regular basis, and I still do, because I still continue to look for different ways to inspire followers, inspire people to be a better and great leaders. That's why you've constantly got to be looking for things to find in people in the ways to inspire them to make sure they continue and want to follow you, going forward. So First item is that I feel it's important. What does it take in regards to what it takes to be an inspirational leader? And then a first item will be self confidence, because you've got to be confident. You've got to be confident in yourself, in your own abilities, in order to successfully inspire others, and in order for others to follow you and to trust you, to see a leader in you. You've got to be confident and confident in yourself, in your own abilities, in your own knowledge, and people will see that. People can see that immediately from the first minute they talk to you. So self-confidence is a very important part of that. And one way you can build the self-confidence is by simply trying to, again, more public speaking, not being afraid to actually speak with others, whether it's in the um, team meeting environment, maybe that it is in some conference or workshop that you do, but being out there, actually going out and try it, and overcome that potential fear if you're potentially afraid of public speaking. Um, just overcoming that fear is a crucial part, and just going out there and put yourself in front of others and conduct the speeches, conduct the presentations, work with people, uh, build that self confidence, build that knowledge, build that confidence of being in front of others and teaching and leading others. That's something that you practice every single day. It's not something that happens immediately, especially um, if you're more reserved, and that's the way you are. Practicing daily is one of the things that you definitely need to do. Um, I practice every single day with regards to building up my self confidence, and I've been doing this for a very long time. I've been leading many different teams, and I've helped develop several people to take to go the positions where they want to go to become better leaders, and I still to this day and will continue to build and work on my self confidence by conducting different presentations, by working with people, by asking for feedback. And that's a crucial part, because once you conduct a presentation, once you put yourself out there and teach others, you want to make sure you ask for feedback. You want to make sure to ask others, to ask your followers, ask your listeners, make sure you are doing everything you possibly can. And how were you on the stage? How were you in the team meeting environment? Were you confident? Did you appear confident? Because perception, as we've discussed previously, is a reality, right? So you want to make sure that you're giving out the right perception to others. The other item is knowledge and being a subject matter expert. Well, you can't successfully lead others. You can't teach them anything, whoever they may be, if you are not an expert in your field, whatever that field that may be. Whether it's management, whether it's writing books, whether it's writing blogs or fixing cars, whatever that may be, whatever your passion is, you've got to have that base knowledge. You've got to have that you have to be an expert in what you do. If you want to inspire others and become a better leader, you've got to continuously develop and learn and build your knowledge base about leadership, about public speaking. If you inspire to be an author, for example, you want to make sure that you practice your writing skills. Make sure you're asking for feedback. You attend workshops and different seminars about writing. There's many different things that you can do, but once again, you got to be a subject matter expert, because people will not follow you as a leader if they know that you have very limited knowledge in that field, right? Why would they follow you? So that you have to show them that you have to know, and not just to show them, but you also have to know the subject that you're want to be an expert in, and you have to continuously learn and grow yourself in that field, and get better and acquire more knowledge, because learning doesn't stop when you finish school, or learning doesn't stop when you finish college, or when you get a specific position that you want. You have to keep going and then build up on that knowledge. The other item is great leader, or great listener, knows what inspires his or her followers, right? And that's, you start with a great listening and great active listening skills. Because without listening, how would you know what inspires your followers? How would you know what inspires your employees? You wouldn't. So you have to, when you have those conversations with them, whether it's on one-on-one or even in the team meeting environment, or whatever the setting group setting that may be, you've got to be able to listen and be actually really good at it, and have a very good active listening skills that you can continuously develop. It's not something you absolutely need to have right this minute. If you don't, that's okay. You can learn that. I continuously learn that too, and I still do, to become a better listener, to make sure that I allow people to, without any type of interruption, to say what they want to say, to express their frustration, express their feelings, express their feedback, positive or negative. You have to be a good listener in order for people to open up and share the information with you, because without information, you can't inspire them. You can't lead them in any specific direction, right? You've got to know what inspires your people. You've got to know what inspires your followers. What's in it for them? What's the unique thing? What's the idea? What's their goal and objective that they have in life that they want to achieve? They will never share the information with you if you constantly interrupting them, if you're not listening to them, and if you focus on just your objective, your goals. That's not going to work. You've got to be there for your followers and listen to them, what they're telling you, in order to be able to help them, right? And the other thing is transparency. I think we've talked about transparency, right, and honesty. You want to make sure, in the previous module, so you want to make sure that you are as transparent as you can be in order to establish and build that trust with you people, especially in order for them to share something that personal, something that they truly want in life. It may not always be a specific position, a specific a job title, or a specific pay. That may not be what inspires them. That may not be what they want in life. But there's something unique, something that's specific to that person that they want to achieve at some point in their life. But that's their ultimate life goal. But the only way they can share the information with you and open up to you is if they trust you. And one way for them to trust you is if you are being as transparent with them as you possibly can be. So they can see that you are listening, you are hearing them, and you're taking notes. Whether it's in here or whether it's on paper, it's up to you. But you have to be open with people that you are looking to inspire and follow, and make sure they follow you. The other thing that I wanted to mention to you guys is, what inspires people? Well, the great leaders also lead by example. So one thing that I want to share with you, regarding inspiration and regarding active listening skills, and make sure that ways to inspire others, is on the personal example. That's something that I continuously, like I mentioned before, that I continuously to continue to work on every single day, because everybody has opportunity areas. And one opportunity area for me is really just making sure that as a leader, when somebody's sharing information with me, and when somebody is opening up to me, whether it's positive or negative feedback or suggestion or comment or whatever that may be, is to listen to them all the way through. Let them finish. Let them express everything they wanted to tell you without interrupting them, without sharing your personal ideas or opinions, or start answering their question, if they have a question that they came to you with. Is actually be quiet and allow them to express everything they're telling me. So that's something that I continue to work on, and especially for someone that's very driven, somebody that enjoys that direct type of communication, it may be challenging. So you have to continuously work on yourself and making sure that you take a step back and actually listen, allow the person to finish everything that they want to tell you. Because if you will continue interrupting them, how much more information will they share with you? Probably not much. So, listening before you start answering any questions, before you start sharing your feedback, you first have to finish listening to the person that is in front of you, or a group of people that's in front of you. And that's, once again, that's something that I know that many people struggle with, including myself, and that's something that you just have to continuously to work on and make sure that you're noticing opportunities, you're noticing those times when you either start thinking about potentially interrupting a person, or start thinking about sharing an opinion before they even finish talking, and then just stop, realize where your mind is going, and allow the person to finish first before you share your valuable feedback for them or with them. So the other thing is, you've got to be able to show people verbally as well as visually how individual's goal can be achieved, or at least a significant progress can be made towards their whatever that unique goal that they have in life. And visually, you can easily start working on developing with your followers, developing a goal sheet. The way to actually that's for me, I believe that's actually the best way to follow through and follow the progress of your goal achievement, where you started and what's your next step. When are you going to achieve that next step? Be specific. What do you want to achieve by a specific time frame, to get closer to that ultimate goal of yours. So goal setting is very important. That's actually, goal setting is a whole different subject, right? How you do that? What's the what do you use for goal setting? How detailed or how specific do you need to be? What's realistic timeframes? All that is those are all great questions, and that's something that I will address in my future modules, or as part of the podcast on the heartmindofleader.com. So I'll be sharing the information with you guys, and that's coming soon. But I think at the beginning, I mean, everyone had at some point as a leader, you have goals, right? You hopefully written them down. But if you haven't, that's okay. You can start now. You can jot down your goals. You can put in the basic ideas of or time frames, how quickly you want to achieve those goals. Whether it's a 12-month goal, whether it's a 6-month goal, whether it's 2-year goal, or maybe it's a 5-year goal. Start focusing on maybe quick wins, right? Let's start with a 12-month goal, and then focus on 2 years. Then focus on 5 years, and so on, right? But make sure you outline what you want to achieve and what are you going to do to actually get closer to your ultimate dream. And you as a leader can help people to develop those goals, to realize what they want, by listening, by hearing them, and then sharing your valuable feedback with them, but also helping them to understand how they can actually set up those goals. Maybe sharing specific templates they can use to outline their goals and time frames and everything they're going to do in between to get there. As a leader, that's your responsibility to help people, not just telling them, here, you go ahead and complete this, write down your goals and put the deadlines in, but you have to show them, you have to understand and help them how to do that, what to put in, and all the information that they need to be able to get closer to their ultimate goal and life goal that they have. So it's not just verbally, it's also visually, and we'll talk about goal setting in the future modules. So the only other thing that I have in this session, and it's one of the longer sessions, so I apologize in advance. But I think there's some great information that I wanted to share with you, and I just feel that if, in order to inspire others, that's something you've got to know, and you have to practice, and you have to do that every single day. So I'll go into takeaways. So three takeaways regarding inspiration as a very important attribute of a successful leader. So three takeaways from this module, which I will actually include in the notes from this module on the blog that I will post later today. So you'll see that as well. So if you're driving or as you're listening to this, or if you just don't have ability to write these three takeaways down, that's okay. I will have all the takeaways for you on the heartandmindofleader.com, and you'll be able to see that and take down notes out there whenever you're ready to do so. So first takeaway is practice self-confidence by practicing presentations in advance of the actual presentation and create your talk track. So talk track helps people, helps me when I do various presentations. Talk track is when you sit down and actually write down what are you going to talk about. Maybe put the bullet points. You don't be too detailed in your talk track, because as you're holding presentations, you probably will not be able to follow every single thing that you wrote. I know I couldn't. So maybe a quick bullet point list of things that you need to discuss and in specific order, because that will help you to actually have a confident conversation and make sure that you cover all the information that you intended to cover. So practicing the self-confidence, and do that in advance of the presentation. Make sure you go through your talk track before your actual a meeting or presentation that you intend to hold. Because once you get there, you'll be that much more confident when you actually start presenting in front of larger audience. Takeaway number 2, become a subject matter expert in any topic you are presenting on or area of your business or your expertise. If you're not a subject matter expert now and you intend to share the information with others, you need to study up on that information. Go ahead and there's a ton of information out there. And there's a lot of complementary information that you can obtain and find online, whether it's maybe you want to read a specific book regarding that specific subject matter that you intend to educate people on and help your followers. So make sure that you become subject matter expert before you start presenting the information to your followers. And then takeaway number 3, listen without interrupting or offering any suggestions until the person is done speaking. That person that's sitting in front of you, or group of people that's in front of you. So, as we've discussed previously, right? You will not know, or you cannot possibly know what inspires your followers, what inspires the people that work for you, with you, unless you give them an opportunity to share the information with you and open up to you. But one way they can open up to you is if you're actively listening and you're giving them opportunity to speak up and share the information without you jumping in and interrupting or start sharing your feedback or answering their question before they're done speaking. So practice that every single day. And as soon as you realize that your mind is going that way, stop. Tell your mind to hold on. And even though you have all this great information that's in your head, maybe from the previous experiences, that you may already know the answer to that question that the person is asking you, but don't answer that yet. Let them finish and then answer the question. Those are 3 takeaways with today's topic of inspiration. Hopefully, guys, you enjoy this module as much as I did, and we will talk about another attribute of a successful leader. Great subject. Next module, and we'll talk about being committed to excellence as a leader. And we'll do that in about a week from today. So any additional comments, any additional suggestions, feedback that you have for me about this module, any previous modules, you are welcome. Please leave them in the comments below this video. You can go to group on the Facebook, which is called Heart and Mind of a Leader. And you'll be able to put and share your feedback there as well. It is a closed group, but as long as you're request access, I will be more than happy to grant it to you. So go. There's several avenues to share the feedback with me, and also the other best avenue is by going to the website. Go to the blog www.heartandmindofleader.com, all spelled out, and there you will find this module that about inspiration that we're talking about today, with your takeaways, 3 takeaways that I shared with you. That way you can jot them down if you didn't have opportunity to do that today. As well as I'll be putting a lot of good and other information that may not be shared in the videos with you. It will all be included on the blog there, as well as podcasts, which I will be starting very soon. So stay tuned. There's going to be some great information coming in both blog as well as podcast on heartandmindofleader.com. And I look forward to hearing from you. Please share your feedback. And this was Alex Keeson with Heart and Mind of Leader. And I'll talk to you in about a week from today. Take care.